It's Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. We're back again, this time with a brand new in-studio guest. Can't wait to introduce him. Tons of superhero stuff, talking about Titans on HBO and Spider-Man 2 from 2004. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello and welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff? I almost said stupid hero stuff. I'm your host, Logan. That's the Giggler. You know him.
What's up?
Andy, welcome back. Oh, man. This is like the roughest start we've ever... Like, I say stupid heroes. You got a cough. How you doing?
I just got some... I took a swig of beer. Kind of went down my throat wrong. So, perfect timing. You're right. Jesus.
How you doing, Andy?
I'm great, man.
I like your new merch.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty sweet.
YouTube,
and then
YouTube viewers get a nice 360-degree treat today.
Yes. Yeah, we're like really showing off the brand today. And what's the hat? What's that?
It's a golf hat. Waggle Golf. Got it. It was a Instagram impulse buy. I got some more coming. Some superhero shirts that I'll bring next week. That was another. Might have been intoxicated. Just swiping the card.
Just a little drunk.
Yeah.
You're on the internet browsing. Well, Andy, it's a very special day in the studio.
It is.
We brought a fan and a friend in here in person. Folks, if you listen to the show, you know this guy. He showed up. That's right. IRL in real life. He has a new nickname, too. It's Scotty Scoop.
Scoop. There
Scoop.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it was
a great commercial.
I didn't even think about that. Scotty, welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Look at that.
Good to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
And I like your shirt as well.
Thanks. I actually I won this shirt.
This is the winning shirt.
This is the winning shirt.
Which contest was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm. You said that, and I immediately was like, "What contest was that?" But yeah, you won. It was like a drawing. We were doing drawings for Mostly Madness, probably.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh my god, that was a nightmare to run. We're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah,
We'll get it.
We'll get it a little easier. But Scotty, thank you so much for coming, man. It's so cool to see you here in person. You're by far our most active, Mostly Superhero Squad Facebook group member, I would say.
Yeah, well,
there's not even a close second.
Shows everyone. They'll make your dreams come true. They'll bring you in.
Exactly.
Scotty, I would like to always, we don't have a lot of guests on the show. I'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Is there an area of expertise? You are a man of many nerdy things. I've been to your house. I've seen some collectibles. I'm going to let you pick and choose what you share with the fans about you.
From St. Louis.
From St. Louis, of course.
Born and raised. I've been a comic book fan very old. So
Long time.
Since the mid 80s, big comic book fan. Make mine Marvel. Always been huge Marvel fan, and man, we're living in a golden age for sure of content. Yeah, from everyone.
Yeah, from every group out there. It's like
Marvel, DC, Image.
Yep. And you also you lended me this Invincible book, which I've had for going on about a year.
It's been a long time.
And I haven't read it. I offered it back to you.
I saw the poof of dust when you pulled it off the shelf.
To wipe it off. But yeah, you're into anime, you're into Marvel, you're into DC. You got a great comic book collection. And yeah, I bet like me and Andy, we got into this stuff because of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You were here reading this source material before we even really knew about a lot of it was.
Right.
I'm sure that these movies, TV shows, the last 15 years have been pretty exciting.
Oh, it's been amazing, and I every time I watch one, even if it's not a great movie, I'm always in awe, sitting in the theater, and you just watch what happens in your imagination play out on screen. It brings a little tear to your eye every time,
multiple times,
every time.
Even if you watch the same movie 20 times.
I was watching Spider-Man 2 last night.
Yeah.
And there's just a couple of things that hit you in the feels, and
And
you know?
that's the meat for today. You've told us this is one of your favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we can't wait to get to it. We're going to talk about it during the meet today. Jam-packed episode. And with that, let's get right to the folks that we love most. That's right, the fans.
Fan mail.
We always feature fans first on this show. We always will. And we always want people to call us. If you can't tell, it's what we want you to do the most. We might as well call this thing. Yeah, mostly studio phone could be called the podcast. It's 754-CALL-LOG, 754-225-5564. And Scotty, I gave you a little bit of a warning. All I want for fan mail today is, we've done this before on the show, and it's had some good payoffs. So I wanted to do it again. I want you to call out a friend that you think would be into the show, watching the same stuff we are, and call them out, him or her, they, everyone in between. Anybody want to call out, they say, give us a call, give us a ring, name us. You can give us, just to give you a little background. It can be a title you want to watch. It could be a topic you want thrown on the table. It could literally just be a phone call to say hi. Who would you nominate?
I got a friend I work with, Alex. I know he listens to the show sometimes. Give us a call.
Look at that.
Anything.
Just
tell us what you like.
Yes, exactly.
Bring up a topic. Anything.
Who was your friend that called and just rambled about Marvel villains for a while?
Zach.
That was
Crushed it.
He literally didn't have any point. He just got on the phone. He goes, yeah, so Marvel villains.
Talk about
how about those villains?
10 minutes, and we went.
Well, Alex, sorry that you have to work with this guy. But we love that you listen to the show from time to time. I mean, another fan. That was what I was in shock about. When you said he listens to the show, I was like, whoa, Alex, give us a call. 754-CALL-LOG, 754-225-5564. All right. We have a big episode, and we actually are bringing back, for the first time in a while, some news, because DC Fandom just went down. So let's get into it.
News and rumors.
If you don't know, DC Fandom, is it Fandom or is it Fandome?
It's Fandome.
Because it's got an E.
Yeah, I go the dome.
Fandome. I love it. The ultimate DC fan experience. This made a big shift in how they run this event. During the pandemic, the first time around, they had a total virtual type of environment. This time around, it was pretty much the same thing. They had a in-person showing, and they also did some virtual stuff online, a nice mix and match. And it happened just recently on October 16th, so just a few days ago. And I thought we could just run down kind of like the major announcements. So you guys can't see this here, but I can have a list, and I'm just going to rapid fire them. And then I want to call out the ones that mean the most to us. So first up, DC Fandom. It's going to be all the stuff around DC Comics, live action, across all the services. And there were some big updates. There were some small updates, stuff I cared about, stuff I didn't care about. Starting with some of the softer stuff from me personally. We got some background on the upcoming film Black Adam, starring The Rock. I think they showed like one of the opening scenes of the film. Teases from Batgirl, the HBO Max movie. We got a first look at Aquaman 2, the retro suit on Jason Momoa. We got the new Black Manta suit. The Flash season 8. Just a little boo, because I mean, maybe they'll bring me back with this season. Who knows? Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's over. Shazam 2, we got the first look. Blue Beetle, HBO Max movie. Got a first look at that. Doom Patrol mid-season trailer for season 3. Sweet Tooth, season 2.
Amazing.
That's another one that you knew about, like you had read the source material, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, we watched that because of your review.
Yeah.
100%. Me too.
Called in review.
Called in on the studio phone.
See what happens when the studio.
And you know what? Look what happened after that.
That's right.
He's in. He's in the studio. So Sweet Tooth, can't wait for that. I wanted to ask you guys about this one. The Sandman?
Sandman, yeah.
Tell us about this. Are you familiar with what they're making here? I don't even know if it's a TV show or a movie.
It is a TV show.
Okay.
I do believe it's Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, this is maybe about 25 to 30 years old. The comic book, very, very popular. You will find lots of fans.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I heard about this and I saw the still image. I think they shared like one image from the show.
Yeah.
And it got my attention. I was like, this seems like it might be a little dark.
There's been a trailer.
There's a trailer
too.
Yeah,
there's a trailer. I think that was a couple weeks ago.
Okay. All right. Well, now we got the big stuff. I mean, if you followed DC Fandom at all, which I should have led with this, did you guys sit down and watch it?
I followed it for a while.
Uh-huh.
And
it's on Saturday.
Yeah. during the middle of the day.
Yeah,
You
kind of
know,
tough.
I followed along
Bless you,
on
Andy.
Thank you.
YouTube Live for a bit,
Okay.
and I would pause it and come back and fast forward through the stuff that didn't really pertain to me.
But you wanted to sit down and just watch it.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
If I had time, I would have sat down and just watched it.
We were busy as well, and I wanted to, but I just kind of went back to the recap thing, which
Mhm.
this is great about it all being online because, first of all, big thanks to Rotten Tomatoes. They put out a great article that kind of summarized this. You can find 100 of these articles
Yeah.
out there. You Google what came out, you'll find it pretty quickly. Well, here's the big stuff, folks. First up, Batman the Animated Series getting a successor, coming back.
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's James Cameron produced cartoon about the Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
Only really focusing on Batman. I've heard it's not like no Justice League. This is a Batman cartoon. Did you guys hear about this? Are you excited, Andy?
So excited. I heard I think it was the producer that said like this is going to be everything that they wanted the first series to be. Like I think it wanted to be more adultish ish. Like I don't even know how to properly. That's what they're hinting at, but I wasn't sure that's where
A little
it's
more gritty.
specifically going. Yeah, yeah.
A little bit more
grittier.
of that gritty Batman.
There's things
Yeah.
that they could not do because of the times. Then I think is in what channels it was airing on.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be the same theme song?
God, I hope so.
Da,
That'd
da,
be
da, da.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Scotty, were you excited for that?
Super excited. I didn't see any casting news on that. Will
Mhm.
they have the Batman?
Hopefully.
Kevin
as the vo-
Conroy?
Kevin Conroy, best Batman of all time.
God, unbelievable.
Write it down.
Write it down.
In pen.
That's what I always tell Andy. Don't worry, we're recording.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Kevin Conroy, absolutely the best Batman. Love seeing the live iteration during the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Okay, we also got a first look at The Flash, the movie.
Super excited.
I mean, my gosh, I'm just gonna I almost want to say spoiler alert, but this was the teaser, folks. You get Ezra Miller. Couple of flashes in this thing.
Yep.
Sasha Calle as
man.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
And did they show Keaton?
I guess we are to assume that was the back
Well,
of Keaton's head.
Yeah.
Mm.
And just the opening of it with I think it was a Danny Elfman song, I think. Their
Mhm.
score from the original. Like you could tell it was the same style of music. And it as soon as that hit, I was like, I got chills.
You got the
And then
goosebumps.
you hear
Yeah.
Keaton voicing over the beginning of it. I was like, I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, this is happening.
Like when I see this movie, I'm gonna those wet things coming out of my eyes we talked about earlier. That,
Uh-huh.
that might be
Definitely.
happening.
Yeah, this is going to be. Andy said it best last week. This is on the entire slate. This is definitely toward the top.
Yeah.
Talking about Keaton coming back after all these years. I'm all about. My favorite thing about the DC Speedsters is all about time travel, and just to see two Ezras on the screen, I immediately was like, "This is a movie for me. I'm gonna love this movie."
And it's a teaser.
That's
it's
it.
the
right.
tip of the iceberg.
That's it. Like, 'cause they don't want to show too much. This
Yeah.
is one that you want to keep kind of under wraps. I mean, how are they going to tie this into Snyderverse? How are they going to play it into any sequels that would come after this movie? Other Batman films. There's rumors about Keaton sticking around for a while, but we just don't know yet. All right, next up, can't wait for that one. Peacemaker teaser coming to HBO Max this January. We basically got like pretty much a trailer.
Yeah.
Full on like little teaser trailer for Peacemaker. Personally, I really enjoyed it. I thought it looked really cool, a lot of fun. I thought it'd be maybe, which it still could be, a mix of like more flashback, which this looks like it's pretty much picking up after the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's got the handlers
Yes.
from the movie. Hugging eagles.
Yeah. The eagle at the
Eagle?
end just he goes, "It's hugging me. It's hugging me." Like at the end, that's when me and Carrie both kind of started chuckling, and I go, "All right, they got me. I'm gonna
Yep,
watch this."
I'm
Yep.
in.
What'd you think,
100%.
Andy?
James Gunn, he's not going to disappoint. They could have not even had a trailer or teaser or anything. And James Gunn, John Cena combo, I'm here all day.
Yeah, the fact that James Gunn,
Fan
St.
of
Louis,
the show.
St. Louis,
Fan of
by
the show.
way.
Yeah.
Fan of the show.
Fan of the show, big fan of the show. I think he's liked multiple comments of
Yeah.
ours. His wife has even liked comments of ours.
Nice.
I gotta brag. St. Louis guy. I mean, he's so good at these movies. To think about him doing every episode of this show, I'm just pumped up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a wild ride. And then I think this is probably the creme de la creme here. But we got the second, right? At
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
the second, the Batman trailer. Pattinson. Andy had to take a breath. Tell us what you thought of this thing.
So legit, like I watched probably the first hour of Fandom live. Had to go to a wedding unfortunately, after that. And I turned my phone off and like before, and I was like,
Poor decision.
I might have a Batman trailer when I get out of this wedding. I was like, you better hurry up.
What'd you think about
Priest. I come out and it's on immediately.
Oh my
I
God.
turned my phone on and it's playing, and I'm like, I like went to the side of the church and I was like, I'll be right back, guys.
Middle of the wedding.
I need a couple.
That was
of
after
minutes.
the wedding.
After
the wedding.
It's like the ceremony.
We're waiting to get on the party bus. Like, oh, Batman's starting.
The bride's coming down, and you're just over there on your phone playing a video out loud.
But
did this deliver for you?
oh my God, yes. It's so.
What'd you like
It's
about
gonna be
it?
so good. It just, I can just tell.
Yeah.
Everything about it. Like they didn't really give away too much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm just really intrigued to what this story is going to be. And I think I have, from watching what the director's saying, and they're trying to have this be a more like grounded universe. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of want.
Mm-hmm.
When the things that we're seeing right now and these main universes are getting kind of wonky and going to space and all that stuff, like this could be a good kind of, I don't know how to describe it, just a good change of pace for everybody.
Yeah, because like PC Mike would always make a point, like whenever I start trying to play connection game, he's like, we don't need it to connect. We don't need it to connect. Make us a Batman movie that lives in Batman. I mean, we're seeing the same thing with the animated Batman that they're going to do. They're like, this is not the Justice League. This is the Batman. Seems like the Batman with Pattinson might be a taste of the same thing. Scotty, what'd you think?
I thought it looked great. And I think DC is going to start trying to lean into that, making everything separate and really playing up to that and not trying to connect a whole lot of stuff. I know that Marvel has kind of played into everything is connected.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably a good decision for DC to lean the other way to not try and copy too much.
For sure. And like the Marvel method, right? I mean, they had a plan, and you can see it. Like, it is there. I love the connected storylines. I'm always looking for that as a fan. But you're right. It feels like at this point, we've said it all the time on this show, DC, just lock down a plan.
Yep.
Instead of trying to make everything work. I mean, remember Crisis on Infinite Earths? We bring it up all the time, but we'll never let them forget that they showed us all the different DC areas, and it's like, that probably didn't mean anything. You just got too ahead of yourself. You're trying to mix the CW with HBO stuff. I don't know. But this Batman, it looks pretty good. The Riddler is going to be, looks like the focus. I don't know if he'll be the only villain. Is there any other villains that have been teased?
We got Penguin.
Penguin?
Yeah,
Colin
Colin Farrell.
Oh,
yeah.
of course. Yes. And I've heard there might be a show for this, right?
Unrecognizable.
Yeah, totally different look.
Yeah, and they are talking about HBO Max show, spinoff show.
Just focused on him, which, I mean, you're just talking about like a crime lord show.
Right.
Sounds awesome. Anything in Gotham, I mean, we'll get to Titans here in just a minute, but that's what keeps me coming back is just the Gotham life. I feel like you have a lot to work with. Will they do it right? We shall see. Okay, I just rattled off the list. I hit the big stuff. Any other pieces from DC Fandom I missed, you two? Anything that you want to really focus on the list that we went over before we move on?
Video games.
Hit it.
Kill the Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights.
So I remember Kill the Suicide Squad. I remember the first trailer that came around with like the tease against like they're going to fight Superman. Yep. Okay, what happened this time?
I don't know. I think they released just another trailer. I didn't watch it. I watched clips of it, but
okay.
I mean, I'm down. I'll give it a shot.
Okay, and what other game you said?
Gotham Knights. That's a definite in.
So this is the one. Basically, Batman's dead.
That basically is the Titans.
And it's like Titans.
Yeah.
It's Nightwing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Robin.
Like
I saw Red Hood.
And Batgirl.
Batgirl, yeah.
This is, okay, sounds pretty good. You're definitely gonna play it.
Oh yeah. You can come.
Do you play those? You play these games? Get you
excited? Yeah, I will definitely play those.
Yeah,
for sure.
What console do you got?
Right now, I've just got the Switch.
Right.
And Oculus.
The Oculus you were telling about, so that's going pretty well. All right. Well, any other games you were going to name one more, Andy?
No, that was just those two.
Just those two?
Yeah.
All right, folks. DC Fandom. They do it. Fandom. Excuse me. They do it every year, apparently, and it's a lot of fun. I wish I could have seen more of it. Having it on a Saturday, like we all said, it kind of makes it a little tough, but a really big list. Scott said it right when we started the episode. Golden Age is here of superhero content, and DC is doubling down everywhere, basically on the CW, HBO, the games, the movies. Can't wait to talk about more, and we'll keep you apprised of what's happening in the news world.
And they had 3 times as many viewers this year as last year.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Bringing some stats.
I could name one reason for that.
Say it.
Pattinson.
That's it. The hype is real.
Gotta be.
100%.
I mean, that's why I was mainly there. That, and I'll be honest, Peacemaker. Like if I'm talking about what I'm most excited for out of this, I would say I'm probably more excited for the Flash movie than the Batman, and I bet you're not. I bet you want the Batman more.
It's like a tie. Number 1 and number 1A. There's no.
What would you pick?
I would have to lean towards the Flash, which going into the event, I was definitely there for Batman, and they gave me the taste of the Flash, and I need more.
Need more of it
that.
now
Yeah.
after seeing that. Well, we're gonna get our wishes will be granted. All these things are coming whenever they do, and we'll keep you apprised. With that, let's talk about what we're watching.
Whatchu Watching?
What you watching? This is where we tell you what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're doing. We got a new person in here this week. Can't wait to hear from him. Let's go down the line here, folks. Andy, you talked about this title last week on Netflix. It's called Squid Game, and you said you had some corrections?
Yeah, I accidentally said there was 10 episodes. There's only 9.
Oh.
But I did finish it as well. And I think I called it like a must-watch for everyone.
You did.
I
Only 5 episodes in, you called it a must-watch.
I'm going to backtrack that a little bit.
Oh, no.
All right, let's hear it.
It still was
Give the
good.
review and give us the rating.
It still was good. I mean, I gave the review last week. I don't think I need to really go.
But you
fully
saw the
over it,
rest.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't say too much because you guys haven't seen it. So
Well,
I got to keep it spoiler-free.
Yeah,
And
spoiler
it's one of those
free.
things. I'll just say my thoughts on it. It's
Yeah,
one
your
of the
thoughts, how
ones-
you felt.
things that I bet if I watched it again, I would enjoy it so much more
Mm.
because it's something that you could rewatch and just pick up on new things here and there.
Mm.
It was overall, it was. I'd probably go with about a 3.0.
Oh, okay. So right at that line.
Yeah,
But still.
but like after at first, when it was first starting, I was like, oh, this could be a 3.5. You just got to get over the dubbing part, like Scott talked about earlier. It took me a while,
Mhm.
and I put like the subtitles on with the English dubbed over. Kind of, but it was frustrating because they didn't match up. Like
You were
what
saying that. You were saying
it
they
was
were.
so confusing.
Mm.
So you just gotta have to commit to one or the other.
Yeah, because they're dubbing it in English, and then the words are on the screen, and you're like, that wasn't right.
yeah. It's not like what? But it's still is good. I mean, this makes so much money. This made like $1 billion for Netflix.
I've heard it's doing
Yeah.
outstanding.
Biggest title ever is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
What in the world? How did they
I
do
can't
this?
believe it.
I guess it's just because it's so worldwide.
Yeah, like a huge
Yeah. Oh,
audience.
yeah.
South Korea, it has all the markets
Yeah.
on overseas and everything. And I don't know. America is gonna be like, oh, a show about a bunch of people dying. We're in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, 3.0, the fact that it's doing so hot, I think I'm going to have to put it on the list. How about you, Scotty?
I will definitely have it on the list. I got to know how many squids.
I don't think I saw a single squid the whole time.
I don't know.
Do they?
The Squid Game is so there's 6 games that they go through, and the last man gets all the money,
Right.
basically. And the last one is what's called the Squid Game. You see it in the very opening of the movie. It's a game, just like a game that they play as kids. Then,
Okay.
but then obviously the stakes are much higher in this game. But there's 6 total games that are all basically life or death situations.
Okay. Squid Game, Netflix, 3.0 from The Giggler. I mean, I guess, is it still a must watch?
I think I mean, not for everyone, but
Decide for yourself.
I think most people would enjoy this.
And if you were telling me and Scotty, which way would you go? Dub or subtitles?
Just dubbed.
Just dub it. Just put
Yeah.
English
Yeah.
over the mouths.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair.
We're going to watch it. Squid Game, Netflix. Let us know if you're watching it. We want to hear your thoughts on this. This is such a worldwide phenomenon, 3.0 from The Giggler, but what do you think? Let us know at mostlysuperheroes.com. And Scotty, you're up live in person telling us about your Whatchu Watching. Tell us all about this one on Hulu. My Hero Academia?
My Hero Academia, one of the biggest animes going on right now. They're in season 5. They just hit their mid-season break. We've got a movie coming out in 2 weeks. This will be the 3rd movie in the franchise. It's basically a superhero training high school. You've got all these kids. They're, I would say, probably about 14, 15 when the show starts off.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in this universe have what they call quirks, which is a superpower. It could be something super awesome, super speed, or it could be something really dumb and not really worthwhile at all.
What's an example?
There is a hero who is a washing machine.
Okay. Like the body and everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He is a literal washing machine.
Oh my God. You might have just got me to watch this show.
He is the washing hero, is what they call him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And this is this poster right? This is 2 heroes on it,
This
I'm realizing.
is actually for the first movie.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's clarify for the fans watching on Facebook and YouTube, because like I'm a novice on this. Is this one of those that you were reading before, or does it have source material?
It does. It's very. There are a bunch of volumes of the manga, so it's been going for quite a while. I think maybe about 8 years, 9 years.
Wow.
And my 11-year-old daughter started watching it.
So this is okay for kids.
Oh yeah, this is definitely kid friendly.
Mm-hmm.
There are some weird anime stuff. They're it's from Japan. They're a little liberal with the outfits sometime. But yeah, great show if you're into superhero stuff, as I'm sure everyone here is.
If not, you're listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah.
All right, My Hero Academia. It sounds like it's not slowing down. I mean, this is a 5-season, 3 movies. Are the movies also like Hulu? Do they go to theater? Is it like straight to rent type thing?
The newest one is going to be in theaters. It's usually a very short run.
Yeah.
In the theaters, maybe just a couple weeks.
It might be tough, but like if you had to rate the series or even maybe the last movie, like what's your feeling on My Hero Academia on the 4-point scale?
The last movie I would give a solid 3.5.
Wow.
It was a fantastic. This movie, 2.4.
2.4, so not near as good. This is My Hero Academia 2 Heroes.
Yes.
Not as great.
Yeah.
And what about the series? How would you rate that?
A series is solid 3.5. This is a
really good.
One of the best animes I've watched.
How many episodes are in a season?
Usually about 25.
So it's like prime time type of show where you have a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes to watch. Like if you want to go back, you can watch on Hulu. I watch on Funimation. So when they make these series, while it's airing in Japan, Funimation has that episode day and date with the subs, and then the following week you can watch it on dubs.
Interesting. Andy, is this sparking your interest at all? You ever watched anything like this? Any like
no,
any? I guess this is still classified as anime.
Yes.
Right. I feel like the closest thing I ever got to watch an anime myself was Yu-Gi-Oh,
Pokemon,
Digimon.
Yeah. Okay.
A little bit. That was like the most, but like I know it's insanely popular.
Yeah.
It's got a crazy cult following. The fans are diehard. There's so many different ways to engage with this content, whether it's you're reading it or it's a TV show or a movie. I know you're a big fan, so I've definitely it's getting me to where I'm like, maybe it's just one of those that it's got a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
throw it on.
Yeah, throw it on.
You're folding the laundry. You're gonna how long? 20 minutes.
20, typical
in and out.
22 minute runtime.
Cool, man. Good review, fair share. My Hero Academia, Hulu, Funimation.
Just it's an anime streaming service.
Oh wow, it's own thing.
Its own thing.
We're a couple of noobs.
Yeah,
look at that.
Def.
Well,
you're lots and lots of content.
You're broadening our horizons.
All
right. Next up, last for me. So if you don't know, I hurt my hand. I talked about it too much. I had surgery last week, folks, and the update is everything went really well. The hand is. I mean, look at this. Remember when I couldn't flip people off, Andy? Watch this.
Oh yeah, he's back, baby.
Yeah, I'll give it up. Had a great doctor. Big shout out to, again, the St. Louis healthcare system. The surgery was smooth, and about 6 weeks of recovery and a splint. Luckily, it didn't affect the moneymaker, the voice. Yeah. So we're here. We can keep doing the show. But because of this thing, I'm not really doing much. I've watched a lot. Watched Jaws last week. You might remember, Andy. Well, I watched the rest of Jaws.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Wow.
Quick take. The first 3 are all really great. The fourth one is called The Revenge, and it's about just the mom. And she's fed up with the shark, and that was probably my least favorite one. But you still got to watch them all. Those are on Netflix. And here's the big thing about this: if you're listening right now, comes out so today's Monday on the 25th. Sunday, if you're a Patreon patron, these are only on Netflix till October 31st. So if you are trying to watch Jaws, you can watch it for free on Netflix, but you only got about a week. You can be like me and watch them all in 1 week. And then we also watched. You might remember this classic, Speed. Keanu Reeves. Sandra Bullock, and then Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Yep.
which is about a cruise. And those are on HBO Max. And I would say absolutely must watch. If you're into those movies, if you're having like some nostalgia, you're missing the 90s a little bit, get over there and watch those. So solid. If I was going to rate just the Speed movies, Speed, the first one, I would give a solid 3.3. Speed 2, I'm probably going to give it a 3.1. And honestly, if William Dafoe wasn't in the movie, I'd probably give it like a 2.4.
Yeah.
Because he's an unbelievable villain. And honestly, this is how we got to the movies. Carrie and I were watching Spider-Man, the first one, Spider-Man 2002. And she was like, we got to watch Speed 2, Cruise Control. But before we do that, we should probably watch Speed 1. So that's my What You Watching. Lots of movies. Go check those out. Jaws on Netflix, Speed, both movies on HBO Max. And with that, let's get into some superhero stuff. Talking about DC Universe, HBO Max has a show called Titans, and we are on episode 12 of season 3. It's called Prodigal from HBO Max. 48-minute episode. After Nightwing and Red Hood's battle, Rachel and Gar try to save their friend. Meanwhile, Jason questions his allegiance with Barbara behind bars. Donna leads her own resistance operation, and Connor helps Blackfire recover her ship. If you're not confused enough by the description, you'll get confused while you watch the show. One more to go before the big season finale. Let's talk about it, Andy.
You know, you're right. There's so many different things going on at one time, and you're like, these are all going to connect and be like everyone's going to be together at one point. But here we are.
Here we are again. The team is still split up. Scott, let's just get it out of the way. You haven't been watching this thing, but you've been listening to us talk about it for literally now 12 episodes in a row.
Yeah. A literal Rubik's Cube. It's a lot of moving pieces here.
And never really coming back together. And I want to give the fans a little insight to you. You said you watched, season 1?
Season 1, maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't my cup of tea. Once we get a larger catalog, I may go back and watch it. I'm really familiar with all the characters, but there's just something that wasn't hitting that spot for me.
Yeah, and you had a good point whenever we were eating pizza earlier, because that's what we had for dinner tonight. We didn't even talk about dinner, but we had Emo's local.
Square Beyond Compare.
That's right. It's a classic. It's a St. Louis classic. Definitely one of the best pizzas in St. Louis.
Absolutely.
And you were saying, it's like, this is probably a good example of stream versus not stream. I'm sorry, binge.
Yeah.
Because this is, talking about this each week has just been really tough. I think you might be right. I think if you came back one day and you're like, I'm just going to blast through it, it just feels a little more cohesive. But with that, let's get into this episode called Prodigal. Where did we leave off in episode 11? Dick, Nightwing, died. Shot in the neck by a random civilian. What a lame way to die as Nightwing. You just get shot. Like, the guy shoots you once, you turn around, then he starts shooting you again. You're just kind of standing there like, my suit's real good, except for my neck. Immediately.
Just immune to the headshots, you think, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like, put on a helmet. And this picks up right where it leaves off. You got Gar, you got Raven. They find the body. And this is where you get one of the wildest scenes of the whole episode, of the whole show, Andy.
Yeah.
Please talk to me about this. Okay, Dick's dead body. Raven's there. They're like, can you bring him back? She's like, I'll try. Black powers coming out of her. I can't do it. Can't bring him back. All of a sudden, a bunch of bats show up. This is just the middle of Gotham. A bunch of bats show up. And they're flying around Gar, Peace Boy. And they've been following him in different episodes. He's been like, what are these bats following me for? Well, then all of a sudden, he can't control it. He turns into a bat. He's Beast Boy. And he flies with these bats. They immediately get underneath Dick, and they fly him up into the air. And Raven's just watching him. And they take him really high up in the air, like 100 feet. And his body is just like flat. And it's HBO, but I'm telling you, it didn't look that great.
Mm-mm.
What were you thinking during this scene?
This was stupid as hell.
Oh my God. And you're the Batman fan. It was just dumb.
They just carried him to the Lazarus pit.
They carried him to the Lazarus pit. I was like, was it the bats? But it was Gar.
Yeah, maybe he can control them. I don't know.
And then they dump him in the Lazarus pit, and the bats are flying in circles, and Raven's like looking down like, well, this is crazy. This is crazy. And while the bats are flying, you just see one green bat every...
Yeah.
How far away was this pit?
A quarter mile.
Okay.
So, yeah, he said some part of this episode, he said that he thinks he feels like his powers are like behind a locked door, something like that.
Yeah,
And fear is the only way to get them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
But like, who cares? Like, just be Beast Boy and turn into animals.
Right.
Like, don't overthink it. Like, if you want to turn into a bat, turn into a bat. And he's like trying to figure it out. Anyway, they go in. Andy, we pretty much called it. It's a battle for Dick's soul. All right. He gets into let's just talk about Dick for a while. He gets into the afterlife. And who does he see there but Jonathan Crane in a weird cave? And he's like, hey, you're a bad son. Your dad, like Mr. Grayson, he would have been so ashamed of you if he had seen you grow up to become this Batman son, killer guy. And it's basically, you need to choose. Would you rather? This is wild, right? Jason Todd's body like shows up on the ground and he's alive. He's like, what? And Dick is now dressed up in this death world as the Joker, full Joker suit with a crowbar. And he's like, what the? And all of a sudden he just starts beating the hell out of Jason. And Jonathan Crane, it's not really Jonathan Crane though, right? It's like the devil personified or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you can stay here and do this forever. But Dick decides, no, I'll go and I'm going to fight to be a better hero. He sees his dad in the afterlife and he's like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't live up to your expectations. And his dad's like, it's all good. And he's like, all right.
Love you.
Love you. And that's it. That's pretty much it, right? And then Dick comes back.
He saw a little girl.
Oh, yeah. What was that about?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was a young 5-year-old black girl. She's in the woods. He spots her. She comes over to him. Do you remember what she says? Does she say something? And he's just looking at her, right? And he's like, hey.
I don't know. I'm trying to find it in this recap, but I'm
show.
Like...
It's all right. Whatever happens, though, he's like, okay. I guess I'm all right now. And he gets to come back, all right? He punches his way out, and he comes out of the Lazarus pit. Gar and Raven are there, and he's like, go get the Titans. We're going to do this a different way. He decides, I'm going to go get Jason Todd, and I'm going to get his help. That's like how he's changing his ways. I'm not going to go kill Jason Todd, the Red Hood. I'm going to go get him. He does. He finds him very quickly. He says, hey, listen, you and me are going to team up, and you're going to help me defeat Crane. And he's like, can I be a Titan again? He's like, no, you can't be a Titan again, but you can help me do this. And I was just like, semantics. Like, what are we doing? He tells Gar and Raven to go find Donna. Go find Donna and the rest of the Titans. How did he know Donna was alive? He didn't see her in the afterlife. He just had a feeling.
Which one saw that?
Dick. Dick said to Raven and Gar, he goes, go find Donna. And they go, did he say Donna? Anyway, they do go to find first Connor Kent at the bunker. He's not there. They're like, what happened? There's kryptonite dust on the ground. They're like, what happened here? That's when Dick made Connor go to sleep. And that's pretty much all that happens with Gar and Beast Boy. You don't really see them again the rest of the episode. Let's move on over to Connor Kent, Superboy. He is with, get these names right, Corey and Blackfire. Starfire and Blackfire. And here's the whole plan. They find Starfire's ship at the old science bunker where they got her the first time around. And the whole plan is, hey, listen, if we make this fuel for you, you can get in your ship and you can go back to Tamaran. Yeah. Tamaran. You know it just from the comics.
Yep.
And they're like, and she's like, okay, if I go back there, she finds out that she's like the rightful queen of this place because Corey fills her in on the childhood drama from when they were kids that we talked about in last week's episode. And she decides very quickly, even though she told Connor that we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend now, super lovers forever, she's immediately changed her mind. She's like, I'm going back to Tamaran. I'm going to be queen. And he's like, okay. She's like, but I need you to help me make the fuel. So he's making this fuel. And he's like crushing it down. It's like a little miniature sun. It looks a lot like what Dr. Octavius makes Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
And he's making it, and he puts it into the ship. And Blackfire's like, I can't wait to get back home and be queen. And Superboy is like, and they start up the ship, and Corey's like, why isn't it working? And he looks at her, and he gives her like an evil look. He's like Lex Luthor now, because he's half Lex, half Superman. And he kind of gives her an evil look, and the ship blows up. He sabotaged the whole thing.
Nice.
What a jerk.
All right, back to my mic. This mic's really good business today. So then we got Donna Choi. She is with Tim Drake and Tim's parents. And the plan is fight off Crane's cops, paid off cops, and fight them off. And that's what they do. They go out in the street and they fight off against these cops. That's the whole episode. Is there anything else? Crane. What did Crane do? The big
he got the toxin back.
He got the toxin back that Batman stole from him all those years ago, and he's got this toxin now, right? He's like, oh, I'm finally gonna get to do this toxin plan. He also like trash talked Barbara Gordon while she was in a jail cell.
Oh yeah,
And-
she told him Dick was dead.
He said Dick's dead. She cried, and then she like breaks out of prison, and she's off on her own. At the end of the episode, all the Titans are still separated. There's no further movement on the plan, actually. And we have one to go. One more episode, the season finale. Andy, tell me what I missed. I mean, I really blew through that. But, man, this show, it has been a struggle.
There's a lot of Tim wanting to be the next Robin. Again,
A lot.
Just like out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but, you know.
Donna does a good job of, like, calling him out. I kind of liked how they wrote that a little bit where he's like, I just want to be Robin. And she's like, listen, I was literally born for this. Like, I have this in my genes. And I still have to train every day. And you're just a kid. Like, you're just a kid in Gotham. Like, slow your roll. Like, if you want to be Robin, you really got to, like, this is, like, you're in the training right now. Just, like, chill out, hang out. That's it.
Yeah, you got it.
Andy, tell me what you're thinking of this show. What'd you think of this episode?
I mean, a good finale can really do a lot to be a nice little bookend with the start that they had. But yeah, I think you're right. This might be a show that's better off just releasing all the episodes at once and just binge city.
Yeah.
But I don't have the mental wherewithal to let them build up. I have to know what's happening, and because I follow 4,000 superhero accounts on Instagram. Like, I'm going to see spoilers and stuff and recaps, and obviously we do the show, so I can't. There's no way we would ever let them.
You
build
can
up.
do it.
You think so?
I do it on the daily. Like, I mean, I kind of wish, like, in hindsight, right? Like, what I'm doing with Doom Patrol right now. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
And, like, I mean, there's stuff out there. I'll see a poster here and there, and I'm like, just keep going. Just keep going. And also be on your phone less, Andy.
It's hard.
I know. They're so addictive. They're just, I mean, Facebook right now in big trouble for keeping us all addicted to it. All right. But you're excited for the finale. You're so right. They could turn this thing around to where this is just like the first three, right? Amazing. Fun. Like, is Bruce going to come back?
It's just Batman Begins with like a sort of different plot with more people.
And no Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
And not no Batman, but in the Batcave. Hanging out a lot in the Batcave.
Well,
Like, Jonathan Crane has been
very
hanging out in the Batcave for 3 episodes now. Just like literally living at the house.
you think Batman's coming back? We're going to see him next episode in any capacity? We have to.
I just feel like if you don't, I guess you're making the statement that, like, this is Titans. But I'm like, if this is Titans, then you need to take this team back to San Diego and stop talking about Gotham and stop doing all these things that are directly related to Batman. One of the coolest parts of the episode that I didn't talk about, I focused on a lot of the bad. Shame on me. There's the Batcave, then there's the Bat Bunker that has more hidden weapons. And it was pretty cheesy. Like, there was the Penguin umbrellas, like in a big case. There was the Riddler cane. Like, it looked like Jim Carrey's cane. Nice. Yeah, it was kind of cool. But it was still just, like, on display, like, elevated real
Easter
high.
eggs.
Yeah, Easter eggs, but, like, in-your-face Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else you saw?
Mm.
And they go there to
That's
check
about it.
for the bombs that Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow, was looking for. Well, he beat him to it. He got him, and he's pumped about it. And he's got the cops on his payroll. The Titans are split up. Dick's back. Jason wants to be a Titan again. Starfire and Blackfire are home put. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're not flying away to Tamaran. Superboy is kind of Lex Luthor-y now. Like, what's going to happen with that whole relationship? Beast Boy is figured out how to turn into a bat, and Raven has, like, the same powers as season 1.
Make your prediction for finale. I want to hear it.
The Titans come together. They beat Crane. Batman comes back probably toward the end of the episode and is like, you guys did a good job.
I'm calling it that Red Hood's gonna. Yeah, you're right. They're all gonna obviously come together to take down Crane. But I think Batman's gonna show up. Somehow Red Hood's gonna save him, and that's gonna redeem him with the Titans, and he will be a good boy Titan next season.
Like, and he'll make a
And it'll just be another storyline of like, is he going to go bad? Is he going to?
Because that was Dick's lesson in the afterlife was anybody can kind of be saved.
Yeah. Redemption.
A story of redemption. Even whenever you've killed Hank and Dove just went to Paris. Scott, you've been listening to us talk about this thing. You haven't been watching it. Do you want to make a prediction?
Yeah. He's going to be the one that gets it right. So
yeah,
I'd love to hear it.
Wow. More confusing stuff is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be lots of loose ends. Maybe some poor CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Batman.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Titans season 3, episode 12. 1 to go. We will be talking about the finale. Any final thoughts?
Not at all.
Nothing else to say.
What's
about
the
this one.
finale's name? Do I have?
Oh yeah, let's do that. We usually do that, don't we? Season 13. Let me guess. So it's been like Troubled Water, Souls, Prodigal. This will be
Redemption.
It's good.
Let's see.
That's probably it. Or Forgiven. Or you got this, Andy.
I'm almost there.
You're all right. PC Mike, let's shout out to you. We miss you.
What
is it?
Please be Redemption.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. I'm in.
All right.
I hope they better play the song.
Does that change anyone's predictions?
I guess that could imply that there's going to be like a rain that's going to be the antidote.
Either that or CGI Prince.
Yeah.
The only one that can save us.
I'd be fine with either.
All right, guys, that's Titans season 3, episode 12, 1 to go. We'll talk about the finale. Hopefully it'll bring it all home, and you can find your home for the DC Universe Review Library at mostlysuperheroes.com/DCU. Reviews, explanations, which are very much needed on this show, but also a lot of other titles in there. The Suicide Squad, the Snyder Cut, all the good stuff happening at the website, mostlysuperheroes.com. Go check it out. All right, right now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is time for the meat. Last week we talked about a movie, Spider-Man 2002. It's time for the sequel. Tobey Maguire is back, and we're here to talk about Spider-Man 2. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan, here with The Giggler and with Scotty Scoop. First time in the studio, so glad. You're a natural, Scotty.
Thank you.
Doing a great job. You got that that smooth, silky voice.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to your lady, Shanna.
Yeah, Shanna.
Another
fiance.
Fiance, that's right. Another fan in the squad. You just whispering sweet nothings to her all the time with that nice voice?
Of course I do.
Good to have you back on here. I'm getting serenaded over here. The meat, the chunk, the sizzle. That's why we're here. It's why you came. It's why you showed up. And man, this is so much fun. A big movie is coming up here in December 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home. And the franchises seem like they're coming together. We've gotten teases of different Sony properties coming into this movie, multiverse aspects. We don't know exactly what to expect, but we know that it's going to have parts of other movies from our past. Because of that, we took a page out of Phase Zero comic book podcast, and we decided to rewatch the classics. Spider-Man 2002 was last week. We started off with that one, and this week is all about the sequel. A Marvel movie, a Sony movie. It's on Stars. It's Spider-Man 2, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, and
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. I always want to say Walter Hamada. I always want to say that. It's not the same guy. Different universe, different job. All the different things, but this is the movie. The movie came out in 2004, just 2 years later. Gonna give it up right now for this flick. We're gonna break it down. Get some of this out of the way. The movie came in with a $200 million budget. Just for frame of reference, it's about $60 million more than the first movie. And this one made $789 million at the box office. Actually, about $40 million less than the first film. Just not quite as much. Big spoiler alert right now. Want to do some gut checks because, Scotty, the reason you're here, at the end of the day, you texted me yesterday, asked if we were recording. You were prepared to leave a voicemail.
Yes.
On the studio phone. And the reason was, you said this is one of your favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
So I said, why don't you get in here and talk about it? Talk about this film. What is it about this one that keeps you coming back? Is it still one of your favorites today? Was it just then? How do you feel about this thing?
I watched it again last night, and I think it's still up there. I would definitely put this in my top 10 of superhero movies in general. And for the longest time, until maybe the original Avengers, I think that this movie kind of set the bar for what superhero movies could and should be. I think they got so much right with the villain and the actor, Alfred Molina.
Yeah, great.
Perfect. Growing up reading Spider-Man comics, just seeing that for the first time. I know you guys are a little younger than me. I was 24 at the time, I do believe, and seeing it, it just brought out the kid in me, and I was like, man, I can't believe I get to see this, on the screen. Amazing.
Like they did it.
Yeah,
They
like
actually did it. And they did the first one, then they did the second one, and the second one's just stepping up. There it is. Andy, how was this rewatch for you? How'd it go this time around? Obviously, one of your favorite characters. How would this rewatch go?
Oh, baby. I threw this on Sunday. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Sunday afternoon movie. Just threw my phone on the couch. It's like, go away. Not even going to look at you.
Wow.
Just be entranced by Tobey Maguire for 2 hours.
And enhanced.
Yeah, maybe.
A little bit better after I finish this movie.
But yeah, I mean, exactly. It holds up just like the first one. I think it just hit me in a very similar way. It kind of, the initial just like greatness of seeing Spider-Man definitely wasn't like worn off by this movie, but it was so good. I mean, like Scott said, perfect villain choice. Like I love when they can pull a villain that I really know nothing about out of thin air and just kill it on the first try. That's how you know that you have a good formula for sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you guys. Love this thing. I'll fanboy out all day about this. Can't wait to talk about the story. We're not going to go scene by scene by any means. We're going to do this just like we did the first week. We're going to just rapid fire kind of go through the story, where it picked up, and we'll just go through and kind of highlight our favorite parts. I will say there's some not problems with the movie, but I remember watching this when I was younger. Probably saw this thing just like the first one, probably 10 years ago, from like beginning to end, sit down and watch it. Now, of course, I've seen parts of it over the years. You see it on TV, or you have you'll throw it on for a minute or something. And I will say, as an adult watching this, I had the same thought as you, Scott. This is what kind of could teach other people out here how to make superhero movies. They are actually taking Peter Parker, putting it on screen, and I still feel this way. This is a Spider-Man that you could like grow old with. Like you're learning about him from the day one, and this movie, Spider-Man 2, picks right up after the first one. So basically, essentially, Peter Parker in this movie is kind of having a little bit of an identity crisis. Tobey Maguire comes back, just kills it again, and he's trying to do it all. He's trying to be Peter Parker. He's trying to be Spider-Man. He's trying to make a little bit of money. He's still broke, which I don't quite understand. Whenever you're bringing pictures of Spider-Man to the Daily Bugle and you're only getting $300, what is happening? Why are you not getting more money? It's on the front page of the paper.
Right.
But he's pizza delivery boy. You get the great opening scene of him, Spider-Man, saving some people, carrying some pizzas. The classic him coming out of that closet and pushing up the mops.
God, yeah. Man. Great.
Like just sticks.
Snatching the pizza from the guy on the balcony.
Oh yeah, he puts the balcony. The guy's like, free pizza? Nope. From the get-go, you get back introduced to Mary Jane Watson once again. James Franco's back as Harry Osborn. We got Aunt May back. Do you guys know that actress's name?
Aunt May?
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
She's back. She's here again. She's still upset about Uncle Ben not making it the first time around and saying, if I could just get my hands on whoever's responsible for this. And Peter's like,
oh, jeez.
Oh, boy. Mary Jane's a famous actress. She did it. She's on Broadway.
Pictures everywhere throughout the city, billboards.
Like New York City, like the biggest star.
Apparently an entire wall.
Yeah, at one
just
point.
like 1,000 photos.
And he's just like, he's like, God, I'm trying not to think about her. Harry's there. He's like, you got to go see her show. But he's also still pretty hung up on the fact that you're taking pictures of the guy that killed my dad.
Tell me about Spider-Man. Do you know Spider-Man?
Do you know him? Who is he? Your buddy?
Yeah, you got to tell me.
What, your buddy? You going to go take pictures of your buddy? Getting into it, man. I mean, right away, I like to talk about the story a little bit. This is where I like the movie because it's focusing on it takes its time. And I feel like when I first saw this movie, it seemed like a problem, right? It felt like, I was like, I don't know if I need to know that Peter Parker's missing college courses and he's not making it to his college class. And who's his teacher? He makes a comeback in Spider.
That's the Lizard.
That's him, right?
Yeah, Dr. Connors.
Dr. Connors. That's right. He's like, hey, Dr.
It's
Connors.
missing the arm.
Yes. Yep. And they actually go that route, right? In The Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
This one, they don't go that route.
Yeah, it kind of left you, where were they going to go with this?
Like in this one, he's literally just his teacher.
Yeah.
But you do see him again in the third one. We'll talk about that one next week. And he's basically trying to decide, like, am I going to be Spider-Man or am I not? And because of this is where it got kind of interesting, right? With the powers. His webs aren't coming out anymore. Like, he's just, I mean, this is terrifying too. This is where the movie just shows you how well it's made. Yeah. Him in the middle of the sky, not being able to fling his web and screaming on his way down. I felt
shooting blanks.
And hate when that happens.
It goes back to what we talked about in the first review. Remember, I was who cares? We don't need web cartridges.
No.
It's like, he can make as much as he wants. Well, apparently not.
Right.
If you have a little self-doubt, it's kind of like a little bit of a performance issue. And he's struggling with it. He's like, am I going to go to this? I just want to go see MJ's play. I just want to not be so tired anymore. And he falls once again and into an alley. Getting a little bit ahead of myself because this is where we get the big introduction to Dr. Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
Man, this character is so great. The scene with where we essentially meet the character, Harry Osborn gets Peter into a private screening of his fusion machine. Now, help me with terminology. Is that what he's basically doing? He's creating...
Yeah. It's making a sun.
He's
basically.
making a sun. Yeah. He's making a little...
Doesn't sound dangerous at all.
He's making a little tiny yellow sun out of tritium.
Yeah.
Like the rarest metal on Earth. And he's like, it's perfectly safe. He's like, hey, he jokes with his wife at the house. He's like, Peter here thinks I'm going to tear apart the whole city.
What an idiot.
And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, you can sleep easy tonight.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, the first demonstration, this goes off the rails. The sun gets too big. He's got the power of the sun in his hands. That's the big line. Gets his wife killed. Not only this, he has big these arms.
Octopus arms. Man,
go ahead.
I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I was like, how does this look this good?
How did it look?
And even rewatching it, I was like, this is great
2004.
CGI. And some of the pictures of him, the footage of him swinging through the city, you were like, not great. But man, those arms they spent the budget on those arms.
They looked real.
Yeah.
And I loved the chip on the back that keeps them from kind of getting into his head. That gets fried when his wife dies. And this is kind of the inevitable. He's going to go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
These things are kind of taking over his brain. He gets a little bit of evil side to him, but they look just fantastic. And I really, 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 really loved the look and the feel of them. So where I was going before, he falls out of the sky a second time, and he hits a dumpster hard. This guy, he can really fall.
Man, like 100 feet.
And hit his head on a dumpster, fall in an alley. And he gets up and he's like,
oh, my back.
So can real spiders. You shoot them off your desk or your wall or something, they just freaking just live.
That's exactly right.
Everywhere.
That's why because that's what I told Carrie. I go, well, he's a spider.
Right.
He's Spider-Man.
Exoskeleton.
He decides, though, I'm done. I'm not going to be Spider-Man anymore. And he's going to throw his suit away.
Got to put the glasses back on.
Oh, man, I love that. It's like the powers are kind of slipping a little bit more, but his life starts coming back together.
Yeah.
We get that cool scene of him walking. Yeah, when he's walking to the university, he tries to do it without his glasses. He falls. You get that. That's the part where, as a kid, I thought this is a weird scene. The music, and there's definitely some creative freedom there of showing this free way of thinking. And he's like, I'm not burdened by feeling about being Spider-Man anymore. But it all starts coming together. His grades go up. MJ basically decides to leave her fiance the astronaut.
Yeah, John Jameson.
Jonah Jameson. I mean, give it up for J.K. Simmons.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He's a menace.
He's a menace, and he quits, and they find his suit in the dumpster, which
Puts
I was
it up
like,
on the wall.
yeah, hangs it on the wall, and I was like, you definitely know this is the suit. Come on. But he's like, I won. I got him to quit.
Yeah.
My whole plan worked. Kind of a villain in his own right.
Yeah, of course.
And help me out, guys. If you guys don't want to jump in with anything, I'm running it right now. But cut me off.
I loved the hospital scene where they're like, because I think he's dead, and they're
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. His arms just start throwing the doctors all around and surgeons.
Yeah, stabbing people,
killing everyone,
flailing around, and murdering all these, dragging them through the room. Like, man,
and not just like it was like shot like a horror movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's Sam Raimi.
It's Sam Raimi, which is like, this is what we're looking forward to in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Some of this, but man, it was so intense.
Yeah,
I forgot like how like the noises, the sounds, the pure horror in all those doctors' faces. Just Dr. Otto, what do you call him? Doc Ock?
Doc Ock, yeah.
Dr. Octopus?
Yeah.
Is that's like his full bad guy
name.
Yeah. And that's a fun scene. Jonah Jameson's like, they're going through the names.
Doctor Strange.
I love that.
I love it.
Love it.
Doctor Strange.
Already taken.
Oh man, that hospital scene. Oh my gosh, that one really caught me off guard. That was where Carrie like at one point was like covering her ears. She was like, this is really scary. Yeah. I was like, it is really scary.
It really solidified him as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is bad.
This is a bad guy. And what happens next? He gets out of the surgery. He like uses his octopus arms to leave the hospital. He finds like an abandoned place on the river, and he essentially, these little things these arms are kind of like talking to him. Yeah. They're like, hey, he's like, man, I guess I just didn't calculate right, and now my wife's dead. Unless I couldn't have calculated wrong, I'm going to make another one. Yeah. Twice as big this time. This is the big evil plan. He's got to find out more. He's got to find more tritium. He's got to find money to do this. What does he do then to get the money? He goes and robs the bank. Just flat out, just a bank robber now. Yeah. He's got the glasses. He's got the coat. Who's there at the bank while he's robbing it? Aunt May and Peter Parker just trying to get a loan to not foreclose on the house
from Joel McHale.
Joel McHale is in this movie.
That was great.
Aunt May can't even get the free toaster.
Right.
And when all the chaos goes down, he's robbing that bank. Peter kicks her to the side, runs, and she's like, "Don't wait!"
Just real hero of a son you got there.
Chases him down, Doc Ock grabs Aunt May, going up that building, dropping her multiple times.
So stressful.
Oh, so stressful. Throwing her up, throwing her down. Just the violent fight scenes, the arms punching Spider-Man in the face so hard, like just really looks unbelievable.
Yeah,
it looks real.
Little old lady just being thrown around like a rag doll.
Right,
she's tough.
She is.
And they throw her up to the top. She has her umbrella and she's just
hanging. Like Granny's got the grip.
See here, where's it go next? So then Doc Ock decides, okay, I gotta get tritium. How am I gonna do this? Well, I'll go talk to my old friend Harry Osborn, who's still super upset.
Got it for me the first time.
Yeah, got me the first time. Goes to his apartment, says, "Can you get me more tritium? What's the deal?" Harry Osborn says, "I'll give you the tritium if you bring me Spider-Man alive," and he does essentially.
Yeah.
But this is all happening in the middle of Peter Parker trying to just be Peter Parker, but just learns very quickly, like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And he goes and, let's just talk about the great diner scene. And him and MJ sitting down and her pouring her heart out to him. He's kind of thinking about doing it. And then the eyes get so wide. The spider sense goes off. That car coming in. I remember seeing this for the first time with him there, with MJ there. Because she doesn't know who he is yet. She doesn't know the big secret. That attack on that diner and just the fight that's getting ready to break out. You're just so pumped. But essentially takes her hostage. Right. Takes her and says, I'm gonna hold on to you until Peter delivers me Spider-Man. And it goes down pretty much, not like you think. This was kind of awesome, right? He goes to fight against Doc Ock. Doc Ock holds up his end of the deal and he takes him to Harry's apartment.
the hero's lost.
Yeah, what was the fight there? What was the fight?
I think it was the scene before that where he went into the burning building to save the baby
as Peter Parker.
And then he came out, and they were like, shame about that guy that was trapped on the 4th floor. And he was like, man,
I can't.
If only I had not quit being Spider-Man, I would have saved that guy for sure.
Yeah, he's relearning.
The baby had to help Peter Parker onto the floor when he was hanging down.
That's right. He's hanging down. He's got the little girl, and she's like, come here, I'm 3.
Right.
I'll help you up. The cutest little girl.
Right.
Should have won an Oscar, this girl.
Oh, yeah.
But he's relearning kind of the great power, great responsibility lesson all over again. He's like, gosh, dang it. If I only would have had it. I can't have it both ways.
Right.
Oh, and you have the scene of him at his apartment where he's just looking out the window, and he's like, am I not supposed to have what I want?
Right.
Like, cheesy, but also it works.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I think I had problems with this when I was younger, but like the more I watch this now, like, especially after everything I've seen now in the last 12 years, you want it to take its time. Like, I want to see what happens. I want to see Tony Stark like live through 10, 12 movies.
Right.
This is that Spider-Man. This is what they were they were trying.
Yeah, this is what happens to people. It's a story of a person.
A person that's dealing with it.
Right. Like, you think superheroes just have money. Like, no, he's got to deliver pizzas.
Has no money.
Right.
Yes. Still getting $20 from his Aunt May.
Yeah.
For his birthday.
Did he deliver us our pizza earlier? Was it late?
The rubber bands on it.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the front porch when you got there.
And I go, I'm not paying for this.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. He walks off, and I was like, yeah.
Mr. Aziz, is that what his name was?
I have to.
Yeah, his boss.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're just not reliable.
29-minute guarantee. You got to go 42 blocks.
It's a promise. 7 minutes.
Yeah.
He's on his bike. I'm like, get off that bike.
What are you doing?
You're Spider-Man. That's what I said in the beginning. I go, I know what happens here. I'm like, just be Spider-Man and get that pizza there on time. All right. Big scene with Harry Osborn. Finds out that Peter's Spider-Man. And James Franco, he does a great job in this scene. He's very shocked, but has to kind of put his feelings to the side for a minute because Doc Ock has MJ.
Yeah. But Spider-Man says it.
Yep.
So there are bigger things going on here than you and me.
Yeah, which in hindsight, though, maybe he should have handled a little bit better because,
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this end scene, but before we get there, because it's kind of like the last thing we see, it's the big battle time. It's time for Peter to go face off. We get the classic river scene, the big abandoned building. Doc Ock's there. He's got his fusion machine all hooked up again. And he pretty much gets it going right away. He's got MJ tied up on the side, and this sun is 3-4 times bigger than the first time around. And
sucking in the building, just debris everywhere.
What do you think he thought when he was like, when everything started sucking in again? You think he's like,
I've done it.
I got this.
This is it.
You two are like spot on. He's like, I'm nailing it.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I'm a good scientist.
Yeah.
I'm a really good scientist.
I got these arms. No big deal.
MJ almost gets sucked in herself. She's wrapped around the chains.
Yeah, she's just got like random chains just like draped around her.
Yeah, and it's like pulling in her feet and ends up getting her back, but then she falls underneath that one big wall. But before we get there, Peter gives the speech of all speeches to Doc Ock to say, do you guys remember what he says to him? To get him to change his ways?
Oh, man.
I know.
I don't remember
It's
now.
basically like, you messed up, your wife's dead, and
come on, man.
Sometimes you got to like stop and look around at what you're doing. And he's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Oh, Peter.
Yeah.
Brilliant but lazy.
Brilliant but
There you
lazy.
go.
Oh, that's so great. Like, it clicks for him. He's like, oh, Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Right.
Convinces him to change his ways, and he talks down his octopus arms.
Yeah.
He says, I can do this. I can control these. We'll drown it.
Yeah.
We'll drown it. It's a river. We'll just put it in the ocean. We'll let it sink down the bottom. Bad plan on his part. He just kind of gets underneath it.
Yeah, just go, I'll just jump underneath it and pull it down.
And even when he was sinking, I'm like, can you not swim?
Right.
Like, those arms can swim.
I mean, they're probably heavy, though.
Are they waterproof?
Yeah.
That's
They're
right.
apparently not electrically insulated.
Yeah.
Right, because that was the big thing that put him on his ass
Right.
was he holds up the big electrical.
Stab the wires. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Octopus can swim, so
Yeah. Oh,
this guy
yeah.
sucks.
Obvious. How did we
Andy!
miss this?
He's an octopus.
I mean, not really.
But he's Doc Ock.
He has 8.
Right.
He has 8 limbs. That's the only reason why he's an octopus. He doesn't have suction cups, or he doesn't
have all the
he doesn't have like
ink.
black ink that he
yeah.
squirts out at
I wish
people.
he would squirt ink.
Right.
Let's talk about this. This is a big Spider-Man powers part where I'm like, I don't know. When he catches that giant wall, the giant big wall that's falling on MJ, and he just catches it, and he's like, "This is really heavy."
And then they have a whole long conversation
About
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
She's like, "Peter,
It's you.
You do love me, don't
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
Can we do a quick upside down kiss real quick?
Yeah. And if not, I'll just try again with my fiance and be disappointed.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
She was
Very
really hung
weird.
up on Peter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Madly in love. And like really going through it. All right, Peter saves the day, saves MJ, and the last time we see Doc Ock, for now, he's going to the bottom of that river with his son.
Yeah.
And his son.
Well, not his boy.
S-U-N.
S-U-N. MJ, he tells her, doesn't she come back to the? She decides to get married. Oh, that was what happened.
She left with John.
Yeah, that's right. She was
came out of the giant web
yes
that was on the crane.
Yes, and I forgot we didn't even talk about her being runaway bride.
Yeah.
Running through the street in her dress and all that. And she finds out really quickly what it's like to be with Spider-Man. He hears the cop cars. He has to go. But yeah, that's essentially it. They're going to be together. They're going to give it a go. Any other big parts there before we get to the end scene with Harry Osborn?
I don't think so.
We missed.
I mean, there's a lot of big parts we can come back
yeah,
to
well,
too. But go ahead.
The subway scene. That was probably one of the best.
Oh
parts
yeah,
of
the
whole movie.
train scene.
Is that out of the comics?
Iconic.
Gotta be. Like that is such an iconic just shot for me, movie wise, for my life. Just how am I going to
that
stop
fight?
this?
Amazing fight.
And just like
Doc Ock
the
versus
emotion
Spider-Man.
behind it all of just like all the people are just so thankful that he saved him. They're like,
Yeah.
your secret's safe with us.
You could,
Like,
yeah, he had just come back.
Yeah.
You know,
He had-
I'm
he had-
Spider-Man, you're back.
You're
the kids.
because he had been missing for
Yeah.
he's like, being Peter Parker for a while. It's in the paper. He's back. And how am I going to stop this train? He tries the leg. Then he uses all the webs and he's just holding it. And yeah, that's pretty powerful. They like you catch him, pull him in, and
Loved
one
it.
of the guys is like, he's just a kid. I got a boy that age. And then Doc Ock just knocks his ass out.
Still there. You know, like, you got to go through me. And, all the citizens come together. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
He splits them.
Yeah, it's not like similar to the first movie, right? It's a little bit the same thing. Green Goblin, people on the bridge throwing
Mhm.
stuff at him. We'll think about some big parts. Let's wrap up the story. So the end here, we got another shot of Harry Osborn back at the apartment. He's just still in shock that his best friend is Spider-Man. And he starts to hear a voice. Sounds pretty familiar. Makes a comeback. Mr. William Dafoe as Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin side, the evil side, basically in the mirror talking to him. What's going on here? Somebody talk to me about what do you think's going on here?
I think he's just breaking, all this trauma.
It's like a mental break.
Yeah, some sort of mental break.
And maybe it's like he had that mental break, so he's kind of knowing a truth that he's always known and now realizing, because why would Spider-Man kill my dad?
Yeah.
It's kind of what he's going through, right? And then he's like, oh, I think there was more to my dad.
Yeah.
And oh, here it is. There's a secret bunker behind. Here's the green. I mean, I love this scene. Bringing back William Dafoe for the scene too was great. He looked great in the mirror.
Yeah.
And he finds all the goodies. He finds the glider. He finds the bombs. And this is all foreshadowing for things to come.
Yeah.
Little did we know then.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly. I mean, geez, can't wait to talk about this third one. But before we do that, what else in this second one? Any other favorite parts from the film, Scotty? How we do on the recap? Anything that we're missing that you like to talk about? Things that stick out for you?
I think that's pretty great.
I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The funniest part of the movie to me, this is just a dumb scene, but it's the beginning. Also, shout out the pizza company that he worked for is Joe's Pizza. Just fun fact. Just saw it while I was looking up this
Joe's
scene.
Pizza.
Just looking this up, but when he there's a scene where he rides his bike into the alley, I think, and then Spider-Man comes out with the pizzas, and some guy goes, Spider-Man just sold that guy's pizzas.
Yeah,
I died.
yeah, because he goes in the alley and then comes out swinging. Hey, Spider-Man just stole that guy's pizza.
Yep, I loved it.
That's really good.
One of my favorite scenes was going to the theater. Bruce Campbell shows up. He's the usher. He comes in and he's like, "Fix your shoe."
Yep.
He ties his shoe and he comes up and he's like, just your tie. And he fixes it, and then he keeps walking. And he's like, "Can I help you?"
Oh yeah.
Trying to
Yeah,
get
I'm here to see the movie. No,
the show.
It's already started. So you're gonna have to leave.
Who is that? Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell, yeah.
Who's he? I mean, he looked very familiar, obviously.
He's been in a lot of Sam Raimi movies.
Okay.
What is the Necronomicon? Man.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Little Scotty with the deep cuts.
There's been a lot of sequels.
Mm-hmm. But I love that. Love that scene. Hilarious. Real good.
Very short Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah. What? Like it kind of like passes by.
Yeah. Saving someone from falling building debris during the fight.
I think Carrie goes, "Was that Stan Lee?" And I go, "I think it was."
Yeah.
And I go,
very short.
It kind of ended. I was like, I guess that's the cameo. And this one, it was just like, it's going to be like a pure cameo, like very much like just part of the action.
Yep. 3 seconds.
Yep.
Blink and you miss it.
All right, guys. Spider-Man 2. Let's go ahead and do the fun part here and talk about how it made us feel. Let's start with our guest of honor today, Scotty. Tell us any final thoughts you have on this, things that you love about it that you wish were better, but at the end of the day, I want to hear a rating.
There's a lot of watching it again. There was a lot of cheesy parts, and like I said, the CGI in some spots is a little iffy. Man, the arms were great. The fight scenes were great. The actors are all phenomenal. I would for a long time, like I said, this is like the benchmark for I think superhero movies until like the first Avengers, Captain America 2. I would give this a solid 3.6 for me.
Solid.
I like that.
Andy?
I'm going to go just a little bit below that, 3.4. But I echo literally everything he said. I mean, it holds up. It's very similar to the first one and like how I view them in the hierarchy of all these movies in these universes that we love. But I went back and watched it Sunday and I had such a good time. I probably hadn't watched it front to back in like a decade. Mm-hmm. Just another one where you just throw it on and it's always good wherever you pick it up, but you kind of appreciate it so much more when you sit down and watch it front to back. And I would do it again tonight if it was on.
Just watch it again.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys. Nice reactions, nice fresh ratings, and I'm there with you guys. I'm a little bit more in the middle of the road. Can't wait to share my rating with you, but overall thoughts. I've seen this movie a lot. I mean, I've probably seen it upwards of 12, 15 times, and watching it now after all these years and everything that we've seen out of the MCU and all the DC live action stuff, and this movie is really, really good. You look at the stuff that look how we talk about like stuff like Titans that you would think it's it's on its third season, it should be coming together. This is a movie that they were trial and error at the point. They're like, let's give this a go. Let's see if we can do a franchise with a character in a superhero movie and do what we can. And I think I nitpicked a lot on the movie whenever I was younger. I will say there is some CGI that's just a little wild. Yeah. For example, like toward the end, whenever Spider-Man and MJ swing away from the river, it's like
where
are you hooked?
Where are you sending this web?
It's like he's hooked it somewhere and he's just kind of floating like away from the drain. It's like, okay, but like you can nitpick on that all day. The story I still think is there. The suit just looks amazing. I could watch this Spider-Man swing all day.
Yeah.
So fun. Can't wait to talk about the third one, but this is the second one. The rating I'm going to give you is a 3.3. Right there below you, Andy. And that's what we thought of this movie. What'd you think of it? Let us know at mostlysuperheroes.com. Other people online, of course, we want to let you know what the world thinks of this. It's got a 7.3 on IMDb, a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know it would be interesting to see like what it was like 12 years ago. What was it like 6 years ago? And like, I wonder if a lot of people are out there watching it again right now, like us.
Going back.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with We're going to talk about it here and coming up, but worlds might be colliding.
Yeah, for sure.
Scotty, did we do one of your favorite movies justice?
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, maybe we'll have to have you back for another Spider-Man flick. We'll see.
Anytime.
All right, Spider-Man 2. It's on Stars if you want to watch it. You can rent it. It's out there, and it'll be in our Mostly Superheroes Sony library. That's mostlysuperheroes.com/Sony. That's the Sony Spider-Man universe. We got Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now we got a couple Spider-Man flicks in there for you, and more to come, because we're not done with Sony flicks just yet. Let's talk about what's coming up. Nice job, guys. Really good, really fun.
Thank you.
I mean, how cool that we just get to sit in this little basement and talk about a Spider-Man movie that we couldn't believe existed in the first place, and to revisit it. Almost 20 years later.
17 years.
17 years later. That's what makes me think of it being so good is Avengers didn't come out till 2012.
Yeah.
Like they had they've been planning and it all came together. This was before that. A long time before that.
You know, we had Batman movies, only two good ones and some really trash ones.
Yep.
And a couple of Superman movies, but this was really early in comic book movie franchises.
Mm-hmm. It was.
You had X-Men maybe in like 2000.
Yep. Right there around the same time.
And Blade.
Yep.
Okay.
Often forgotten about.
Yeah, often. Like I don't know if I've ever even seen Blade.
Wow.
That's one that we'll be revisiting when the new one comes out for sure.
There's three.
It'll be visiting for me.
Yeah. Three of them.
They're
Three?
good. They're good. I like
Yeah.
Blade Trinity, right?
Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
That's one I watched
Playing Deadpool.
way back in the day.
He took that role because it was very Deadpool like, and he thought it was the only chance he might get.
Who was he playing in the movie?
Hannibal King.
Oh, okay. Different character.
Yeah, but I mean, you watch the film.
You're like,
He's Deadpool.
And then
It was a Deadpool.
So he
pitch.
was in Blade, and then they brought him in for
X-Men Wolverine
X-Men
Origins.
Yeah, Weapon X.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are going to talk about Titans, as difficult as it's been.
One more.
If you're a big fan and you're loving it, God, please tell us. Please write us and tell us that we're just wrong. I think it's been a little bit of struggle, but we are going to talk about that season finale.
I may just watch just the season finale.
I think if I were you, I'd only watch the first episode and then the last episode.
How did we get here? Maybe I'll make up my own roadmap of how they got from one to the season finale.
You can come back here and share it with us, and we'll have our own season 3 of Titans. We're also going to be talking about Marvel stuff always on the show. Phase 4 is here, and The Eternals is the next movie we're going to be seeing on November 5th. It's time to buy the tickets. You guys want to go?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yes, please.
I'm ready.
Big group. Get the crew going. You got to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, Ronnie's,
of course.
Absolutely.
Stop at the Take 5, maybe
Yep.
Three Kings.
Hit the IMAX.
Yep. All
And-
right. November 5th, The Eternals. The buzz is real for this thing. Screenings were happening this week in real time. So
Beware the spoilers.
beware the spoilers. You were texting about
Thank
it. Like
you.
they're already
Great
like,
reminder to everyone.
people were just sharing spoilers
Yeah.
from like the end credit scene and stuff. Like I don't want to know anything.
I can't believe that. Variety magazine or something like that.
I was getting notifications on my phone, like news notifications of what happened.
No. Just
Yeah.
popping up on your
Yes, just
screen.
literally right to my phone. Like my phone would go off, and I opened to see and boom, right there.
Have you been spoiled on anything?
I have not been spoiled on what happens,
But something.
but I have been spoiled on something.
I'm really sorry that happened to you because it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
Like people just need to chill out. Andy says it all the time. Like, why is it all about like find out what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, why? Just for the glory? Like, just I want to experience this in the theater. I'm gonna be off that phone a lot this
Yeah.
week.
Oh yeah. Usually you're safe for at least a week until the movie comes out. A couple of days before, you're always really wary about it. But
Mhm.
man,
Well, can't wait. And then also in the TV world for the MCU, Hawkeye, November 24th, still coming up. And then, man, just to nerd out on Spider-Man again. The whole reason we did this rewatch today, No Way Home, is December 17th. And while we have you here, Scotty, I want to hear about your predictions for this movie. Who do you think is going to be in it? What do you think they're going to do with this story?
I think we're going to get almost everything we want.
I do too.
I will make a crazy prediction.
Go.
No Green Goblin.
But they did.
Hobgoblin.
And who's that?
That is Harry.
And Harry's the Hobgoblin.
Yes.
And do you think it'll be like an iteration of him from maybe the Raimi films.
Yep,
James
possibly.
Franco,
Yep. I don't know.
or that,
Yeah, that's what I was
the
saying.
guy
James
from
Franco.
that. Oh man, what is the guy from Amazing Spider-Man? I
Oh,
forgot what.
the lizard. That's Doctor.
Oh, that's never mind.
that's Dr. Connors. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, Dr. Connors, that one. So, do you think we're gonna get Tobey Maguire
I think we do have Tobey Maguire.
Oh
and
yeah,
Garfield,
I don't know about Garfield. I don't know that they're going to go that far in.
but they got Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
But do they?
but do they?
But Jamie Foxx, like, didn't he like?
I think he like shared some set photos, and I think we've seen, some set photos with certain actors.
What did you think when you saw Doc Ock in that trailer?
Oh, it was jaw on the floor, like
hello Peter.
yeah, hello Peter.
What in the
Like I was like, no, they're doing it.
and
Like they're really doing it.
and to put him in the trailer is what gets me thinking of the same thing as you, getting everything.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be bigger than you think.
Well, and then that Venom post-credit scene.
Spoiler alert for Venom post-credit scene. I mean, there it is.
Yeah.
He's coming.
Right. Like,
Probably
did they tie it in that quickly, or do we have to wait again?
I mean,
Who knows?
I told Andy this. I don't think you don't do that Venom in credit scene,
Like 3 months before the movie.
especially with like the way they showed it, like the timing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that universe.
Yeah.
It's like right now.
In that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's up on the helicopters are
Yeah.
around him and all that.
Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah, the end of
J. Jonah Jameson.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
We call it the golden age. We got to come up with like a better term.
The Platinum Age.
The platinum age of superhero live action content.
It's here. Like you can't even go anywhere without getting something.
Sometimes I just lay in bed and I think, great idea starting this podcast.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
we just have too much. We're like stressed about how much we have to talk about. Like we're texting and I'm like, we got to talk about 3 things like every week. Like this is crazy. And now we're going to be combining the franchises.
Well, I mean, think back to a year ago. You guys were like, man, we don't have
Anything to talk
we
about.
don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's how it used to be all the time.
Right.
It used to always be like that.
Yeah,
Now
20 years ago, they were like, comic books, that's
Yeah.
all we got.
Yeah, like when are they going to make a good Superman movie? And I'm still
Yeah.
wondering. Well, Man of Steel was pretty good. Yeah. All right, Spider-Man No Way Home, Andy. You excited still?
Yeah, but
Countdown's on?
I just came to a realization. This is very sad, but I will not be able to see this movie with you guys.
Why?
I'll be in Pittsburgh.
Oh, for your game.
Yeah,
For your big game,
And
the big match.
I'll be seeing it. I arrive in Pittsburgh on Thursday,
So you'll see it.
when it comes out, and it will be what I do that night.
You'll have to send us a picture of you at the theater.
I'm sad that I have to use a little bit of my vacation for that, but it's part of the. It's
You gotta
it's
do it.
required.
It's
Yeah,
going to be
show
one of
up.
the best trips of your life.
Yeah.
You're going to see Spider-Man No Way Home in theaters, and then you're going to a Steelers game.
Yes, you're right, and a Penguins game, so it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
Or
You got to
good-
be
good
careful about
weekend.
poor meing yourself on like really good things.
I know.
He's like, I know, it's a
I
real
can't
drag.
believe I got to do
It's
it
more so
this-
just convincing Steph
weekend.
to like be okay with that. Like,
Oh, yeah. She won't be there?
she's going with.
All right. Well, I can't wait. No matter where you see this thing, Spider-Man No Way Home is coming, and we're not done with Spider-Man films. We've watched the first 2. If you can't tell, we got the big X's on the screen to help you out. We got one more to go in terms of the Sam Raimi universe for Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3. So I think that, the OG, you got the second one. There's a lot of controversy around this film. Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's a lot like most films. There's a lot of really good stuff. There's some stuff that's just kind of not great.
Not great.
I can't wait to talk about it. Can't wait to get the rating. Even if we don't get you in here, we're gonna have to have you to rewatch this thing
Absolutely.
since you just watched the second one.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear your rating on this,
Hey,
knowing how
you-
much you love this.
You might be surprised.
Exactly. I love being surprised. Are you good for next week to watch this?
Oh yeah, Bully Maguire, man, he's my idol.
This is it. This is
I
you
am
talk about Bully Maguire.
All in on Bully Maguire, YouTube videos, memes, Instagram videos, reels, all of the above. And he's just going to be blown up the next few months, and I can't wait.
I can't.
I've been here since the beginning, Bully Maguire stan. So
I can't wait. We're gonna get that whole scene, the whole jazz scene.
Yeah.
Like the chair.
I hate the scene itself,
The
but-
pointing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
what the world has done to mock it,
the
is-
internet. Gotta love it.
a great reaction.
Oh, I can't wait. Like, that's what happens. I can't wait. And then after that, we are going to watch the Amazing Spider-Man films. I haven't seen those things probably since they came out, so it'll be a good time. What do you think of those?
I think they're decent. They could have, as always, could have been better.
I just didn't need them.
No.
When they came out, I go, already?
Yeah. Very, very quick turnaround.
What do you think about them?
Which ones?
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Andrew Garfield.
It's very, very lukewarm. I mean, it was like I was entertained, but it's not on the same level as Toby.
I feel like I didn't have friends that were just like over the moon for those.
No.
I feel like it was always that feeling, but like you get people online that are like they like bleed for this movie.
Yes, I was gonna say there is a super like fanboy section of people that absolutely think that he's the best. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, and I just have terrible taste. But that's my decision.
It's exactly right. And I think one of my favorite things about what we do on this show is revisiting titles and taking anything that you've had built up about it in your head away and just watching the damn movie. And like, what do you think about it? Because we are constantly surprising ourselves, I feel like, on how we feel, good or bad. So I'm excited to revisit those. So Spider-Man all the time. Thanks again to Phase Zero, comicbook.com, Brandon Davis. They were the ones that inspired us to do this big rewatch leading up to December, and we just can't wait. All right, that's the show, folks. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. Scotty, how was your experience?
It was great. Thanks, guys, for having me out here. Anytime.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Would you come back?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like...
I mean, who else am I going to talk nerd stuff with?
Yeah, exactly. We'll get you in here. I know you got a massive collection of stuff that me and Andy might have to come over to the house and hang out.
Absolutely.
Maybe do some exploring.
The home theater, 75-inch TV.
He's got level seats.
Power recliners.
Ah, that's perfect.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. All right. So yeah, we'll just be over. Let's just wrap this up and head over.
Yeah, come on over. We'll watch Spider-Man 3. Let's
tell
it.
Shannon we're on our way. Andy, did you have a good time?
So much. I remember when I was in Scott's shoes just a little over a year ago, all nervous for my first appearance, and here we are today.
Here we are, still just nervous as hell.
Life's weird as hell, man. It's so weird.
And here we are, all wearing Mostly Superheroes on our shirts. Great job on the merch, fellas.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You can get yours at mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. That's a new one, Andy.
I'm in love with it. I got this. I got another hoodie. Got some new magnets.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
some stickers I put on my fridge. You'll have to just scratch and sniff. Just peel them off yourself. We'll see.
That's great.
That's a terrible inside joke. But yeah, I love it, man. I'm
having a good time.
The hoodie was a great buy, especially when it's about to be hoodie season.
Hell yeah. And we'll keep showing it. We'll keep showing up at the movies. We got a lot of stuff happening. MCU, DC, all the stuff happening all the time. Andy, Scott, we'll see you guys next time. Listener, viewer, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for clicking like. Thanks for sharing it. Thanks for telling a friend. Thanks for supporting your favorite independent podcast out there. We'll see you next week. This is Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy.